Liam Carter carried the last box into his small rented house in Pine Creek, Oregon. The town was quiet, surrounded by woods, with only a few neighbors. He was tired but excited for a fresh start. As he placed the box on the floor, his phone buzzed. It was a message: "Welcome to the neighborhood," from Rachel Moore, his next-door neighbor. The next day, Liam explored the town. At the corner of his street, he saw a small yard sale. An old man with pale skin and sunken eyes sat silently next to a rusty table. On the table sat an old box-style TV. Not flat, not new, just strange. Liam asked, "Does it work?" The old man smiled weakly and said, "It works too well." Liam laughed awkwardly. The man stood up slowly and whispered, "Take it. No charge. But don't watch it after midnight." Liam shrugged, picked it up, and walked home. That night, Liam plugged in the TV in his living room. He flipped through the channels, but there was no signal. Only static. Just as he was about to turn it off, a clear video appeared. It showed Rachel standing outside her door, dropping her groceries. 3 minutes later, he heard a thud. He rushed to the window. Rachel had just dropped her groceries exactly like on the TV. He laughed nervously. Weird timing, he thought. The clock hit 12:03 a.m. Liam couldn't sleep. The strange warning echoed in his mind. Don't watch it after midnight. Curiosity won. He turned on the TV. Static. Then a new image. His own living room with him lying on the floor, blood coming from his head. He gasped. Then blackout. The TV turned off by itself. Liam sat frozen. Was that a dream? A trick? Next morning, Liam told Rachel about the TV. She laughed. "You bought a haunted TV from some creepy old man. That's a Pine Creek." But when Liam told her what he saw, his own death, Rachel's smile faded. She whispered, "You said you got it from an old man with a scar over his eye." Liam nodded. Rachel's face turned pale. "That man died years ago. He used to live in your house." Liam sat with Rachel on the porch, confused and scared. "The man said not to watch it after midnight," he repeated. Rachel said quietly, "That man's name was Mr. Deacon. He lived alone. People said he went crazy, claimed his TV showed the future. One night, he was found dead in his living room, head cracked open just like you saw." Liam looked at her, his voice shaking. "Why didn't the police do anything?" Rachel shook her head. There was no proof. No signs of a break-in. No blood. It was like whatever happened didn't leave a mark. That night, Liam stared at the TV. It was 11:30 p.m. He didn't want to turn it on, but something inside him said he had to. He plugged it back in. The screen flickered, then cleared. It showed Rachel walking into the forest near town alone, crying. Then something behind her. A shadow. A figure. It grabbed her. She screamed. Then the screen went black. Liam panicked. He grabbed his jacket and ran outside. Liam ran through the pine trees, calling her name. "Rachel, are you there?" No answer. Then he heard a soft cry, then a scream. He followed the sound and found Rachel sitting under a tree, hugging her knees. She was crying. "Rachel, what are you doing here?" I don't know, I just felt like I had to come here. Like something was calling me." Liam helped her stand. "We need to get out of here. Now." As they turned to leave, the air grew cold. Branches cracked. Something moved behind them. A figure stepped out. Tall. Thin. Face burned, like melted wax. Eyes glowing white. Liam froze. Rachel whispered, "That's him, that's Mr. Deacon." The ghost raised a finger and pointed at Liam. "You broke the rule." His voice was dry and distant, like a whisper inside the bones. "You watched after midnight. Now you must see what I saw." Suddenly, Liam's head filled with screams, visions, people dying. Rachel grabbed his arm, pulling him back. "Run." They ran through the woods, stumbling onto the road. Back home, Liam slammed the door shut and unplugged the TV. His hands were shaking. I think the TV is cursed," he said. Rachel nodded. "And Mr. Deacon is stuck. He's showing you things, maybe trying to warn you. Or maybe to trap you, like him." Liam asked, "Why me? Why not anyone else?" Rachel looked at the unplugged TV and whispered, "Maybe because you listened." Next morning, Liam decided to destroy the TV. But as he moved it, he heard a hollow clunk from inside. He turned it over. There was a loose panel. Inside, wrapped in old cloth, were 4 VHS tapes labeled in shaky handwriting. Tape 1. It begins. Tape 2. She hears me. Tape 3. No one believes me. Tape 4. The final night. Rachel looked at them and said, he recorded everything. He wanted someone to see this. Liam borrowed an old VHS player from the town library and connected it to the TV. He inserted tape 1. The screen showed Mr. Deacon sitting in the same living room. His eyes were tired. He spoke to the camera. It started with the dreams. Then the TV showed things before they happened. A woman slipped on her porch. A dog hit by a car. All of it came true. Cut to black. A new clip showed a young boy on a bike, riding past his house. Deacon's voice. He won't see the truck. Moments later, a truck sped by. The boy barely escaped. Rachel covered her mouth. It's real. Liam nodded. And it's been real for a long time. They debated what to do. Liam said, we can give the tapes to the police. Rachel shook her head. They won't believe us. And if they play them, maybe the curse will spread. Liam looked at the TV. Then what are we supposed to do? Just wait for it to kill me. Rachel's eyes narrowed. What if this isn't just a curse? What if it's unfinished business? She hears me. They played the second tape. Deacon looked worse now, eyes sunken, hands shaking. Greater than, there's someone else now. A woman. She hears the whispers too. She says the TV talks to her. We tried to turn it off. It turned itself back on. A short clip played. A woman, maybe in her 30s, sitting beside him. She stared at the screen. Her voice trembled. It wants to show us more. It won't stop until we understand why. Then the tape ended with static. Liam paused it. Who is she? Where is she now? Rachel checked town archives. She returned with a burnt, torn file. Her name was Clara Wills. She went missing 5 years ago. They never found her. Inside the file was a photo. Clara standing next to Mr. Deacon, both smiling in front of the same TV. Liam felt cold. What happened to her? Rachel said softly, some say she disappeared into the woods. Others say, she became part of the TV. No one believes me. Liam and Rachel sat on the floor, close to the screen, as the third tape began. Mr. Deacon looked worse. Unshaved. Pale. Eyes filled with fear. They think I'm crazy. The police. My sister. Even Clara, she's starting to change. The TV showed her screaming inside the screen. I tried to help her. I did. Suddenly, the tape glitched. It showed Clara banging on glass. Not from inside a room. From inside the TV. Her eyes were wide with fear. Her hands were bleeding. It's hungry, she whispered. It feeds on pain, on fear. It traps people inside. Then the screen turned black. That night, Liam heard whispers. Not from outside from the TV, even though it was unplugged. Rachel found him standing in front of it, his eyes blank. Liam, she whispered. He didn't respond. She shook him hard. He gasped and blinked. I was inside, he said. Inside the screen. Clara was there. So was Deacon. They were trapped. Rachel pulled up his sleeve. A red symbol was scratched into his arm. A strange mark like a triangle inside a circle, glowing faintly. We need to end this, she said. Rachel remembered something. There's a woman in town, Mrs. Hartwell. She used to work in the electronics factory where that TV was made. Maybe she knows something. They visited her. Her house was filled with old radios, TVs, and newspapers. When Rachel mentioned the TV's model number, Mrs. Hartwell went pale. That model was recalled. We made only a few before the incident. What incident? Liam asked. She looked around nervously and whispered. One of our workers died while assembling it. Got electrocuted. But his body, it wasn't normal. His eyes were melted, like he saw something from beyond. They returned home. Only one tape remained. Tape 4. The final night. Liam pressed play. Mr. Deacon spoke slowly. Tired. Almost ready. This is my last entry. I know now. The TV doesn't show the future. It shows what must happen to keep it fed. I tried to stop it. But now it wants me. I can feel it pulling. He turned the camera to the TV. Clara was inside. She whispered, break the screen. Free us. Deacon raised a hammer. But before he could swing, a shadow dragged him backward. He screamed. The screen turned black. Rachel looked at Liam. You saw what happened. Maybe breaking the TV is the only way. Liam nodded. He grabbed a heavy metal rod. Stood in front of the TV. But before he could strike, the TV turned on. By itself. It showed him holding the rod smashing the screen. Then the screen exploded and everything around him went black. Like he was pulled inside. He dropped the rod. Rachel, what if breaking it is exactly what it wants? That night, Rachel couldn't sleep. She turned to check on Liam. He wasn't in bed. She walked into the living room and froze. Liam was sitting cross-legged in front of the TV. It was on, even though it had no power. His eyes were wide, not blinking. Liam, she whispered. No answer. She walked closer. The screen flickered. And in the static a woman was crawling forward. Clara's mouth was wide open like she was screaming. But there was no sound. Suddenly, Clara's face slammed into the glass. Blood smeared. Eyes staring right at Rachel. Rachel screamed. The screen turned black. Liam blinked confused. What just happened? Rachel tried recording the screen with her phone. But in the recording, her own face appeared on the TV. Not what she was filming. And behind her a black figure. Not in real life, only in the phone. She turned around. No one. She watched the video again. This time, the figure was closer. Each time she replayed it, the figure moved closer to the screen. Until finally, its hand touched the inside of the glass. Almost like it was about to come through. Rachel dropped the phone and backed away. The landline rang. Old. Dusty. They never used it. Rachel picked up. A deep voice whispered, "You shouldn't have watched the tapes." She froze. Then, another voice, this one sounded like Clara. "Set us free. Before it's too late." Then a horrible screech like metal tearing flesh. And the call ended. The phone melted in her hand, plastic warping, wires burning. Rachel looked at Liam. It's getting stronger. That night, Liam woke to static humming. He looked at the unplugged TV. Shadows moved inside the screen. They weren't reflections. They were people walking, twitching, bending unnaturally. One of them turned. It had Liam's face. Then all the shadows turned toward him. They raised their hands. And the screen cracked slightly from the inside. He stumbled back. Rachel ran in, saw the crack forming by itself. It's almost out, Liam said, trembling. The next morning, the TV switched on again by itself. It showed a vision. Their house, on fire. Liam screaming inside. Rachel outside, trying to break the door. Then it cut to static. Rachel whispered, "It's showing what will happen next." Liam said, "No, it's showing us a warning. Maybe we can change it." But the TV buzzed, then showed something else. Rachel looking into the screen. And behind her, a hand reaching out. She turned around. Nothing. But a bloody handprint had appeared on the glass. That night, Rachel and Liam both tried to sleep, but the fear from the haunting screen and Toby's spirit kept them awake. Rachel was thinking about whether there was a way out of this nightmare. She decided to visit Mrs. Hartwell, the elderly woman who had once worked at the electronics factory. She knew a lot about the old, rusted factory. "Mrs. Hartwell, you're not telling us everything. Who was the boy who got trapped inside the TV?" Rachel asked. Mrs. Hartwell's eyes grew fearful. She paused for a moment and then softly spoke. "He wasn't a man, he was a boy, just 14 years old. His name was Toby. He worked at the factory, cleaning parts of the TVs." Rachel asked in horror, "What happened to him?" Mrs. Hartwell's voice lowered. "One day there was a fire at the factory. Toby got trapped inside. No one knew. Later, they found his burnt body next to an old TV." Rachel's face went pale. "So, Toby's spirit, it's the one inside the TV?" Mrs. Hartwell nodded. "Yes. His spirit is trapped there, angry, afraid. He wants everyone to feel what he felt." That night, Liam and Rachel sat in front of the TV. "Toby, is it you?" Liam asked softly, but there was no reply. Suddenly, the screen flickered, and the face of a burning child appeared. His skin was charred, his eyes hollow. The boy didn't speak, but a faint voice came from the screen. "I'm cold, I'm trapped, get me out." Liam's heart raced. He asked, "How?" The screen shifted again, showing the burning factory. Toby was trapped in a closed room, screaming for help. "Rachel, he wants to take us to the place where he died." "The same place," Liam said, his voice shaking with fear. Rachel and Liam made their way to the old factory. The factory was now abandoned, covered in dust and rust, and the air was thick with dread. "This doesn't feel right," Rachel said, her voice trembling. "We have to find Toby," Liam said, his face serious. They reached the assembly room, the same one Rachel had seen on the screen. The room was empty, but there was something strange about it, like something was calling them. And there it was, the TV. The very same old TV. Rachel was stunned, "But we left it at home." The TV screen flickered once more, showing the same burning factory, the same closed room, and the same terrified people. Then the screen filled with static, and everything seemed to shake, as if the factory's ghost was still alive. Suddenly, the air in the room grew hot. The floor began to crackle, and smoke started seeping from the walls. On the TV screen, Toby's face appeared again, but this time, his eyes were filled with anger. "You left me, you all left me here to die," his voice was full of pain. Rachel screamed, "No, we didn't leave you, Toby. We've come to help you." The screen cracked wide open. Rachel reached forward and placed her hand on the broken screen. "We will set you free," she whispered, her voice full of determination. The walls of the room began to burn. But Rachel, with no fear, placed her hand on the screen. Tears filled her eyes, but she stood firm. "Toby, you are not alone. We will remember you." As soon as she touched the screen, it cracked even more. And then, a strange light burst from the TV, as if Toby's spirit had been released. The room fell into silence. The fire was gone, and the TV screen shattered into pieces. Toby's screams faded away. He was calm now. He was free.